What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another beer review. Today we are reviewing Strong Opinions Held Lightly by Duration Brewery. They are a really small brewery. I think they're either a micro or a nano brewery in a place called Westacre in Norfolk. They're one of the 4 beers that I got when I took a trip up to Bury St Edmunds. Posted the pictures of the 4 beers that I got on Instagram, which you can see now. And I got those in a really nice craft beer shop called Beautiful Beers, very apt name, and the guy in there was really friendly. I was pretty much like a kid in a candy shop, quite overwhelmed with the beers that I got, so I would have got more if I could, if I had infinite cash flow. I probably would have got every single beer in that shop, but just got the 4 there for now. What I might start doing is perhaps taking the camera with me when I do my little beer shops, just to give you guys more of an understanding of kind of the bottle shops that I go to and that kind of thing. As I've mentioned before, I don't live near Bury St Edmunds, but it was nice to go up there and nice to get some sort of East Anglia beers. So yeah, like I say, this one's in Norfolk, Bury St Edmunds is in Suffolk, this is just getting into the beer a little bit more. This is a standard IPA we're looking at, so 6.2%. 440ml can, so we're looking at about 2.7 UK units. In terms of the flavours of this beer, we're looking at the kind of classic IPA, tropical, hoppy, piney kind of flavours that we all love and expect. Just in terms of the actual artwork of this beer, I'll give you guys some close-ups, but it's kind of like these weird sort of jaggedy edited pictures of birds, which is kind of cool, kind of different. I'll just read on the back here. I'll just read a little bit. So it says, "An open mind is a treasured thing. This IPA is neither east nor west because there is room for much more. Strong opinions stuck in a groove go nowhere. Strong opinions held lightly remain open and keep the adventure alive. Sway with us on your adventure. Make room for variety and new discoveries." So that's quite nice. Kind of a message of keeping an open mind, basically. If you do have a strong opinion, hold it lightly, I suppose, is the point. So it's nice. Let's crack the beer open. I'm not sure what kind of colour we're looking for. Smelling it smells really fruity immediately. Quite sweet it smells, which is nice. Not too hoppy at the moment, but you never know, it's always subject to change. Okay, a bit lighter than I thought it might be actually, especially for 6.2%. Just give it a proper pour out. Perfect. I'm improving slowly on my pouring skills. Okay, so strangely enough, when I hold it in my hand, it doesn't look that cloudy or that thick, but when I did a hand test, I can't see my hand at all. There's barely a shadow that I can see, so contrary to what my brain is telling me, it's actually quite a thick, quite a thick beer we're looking at. I can see a little bit of sediment in there, which is nice. It's what I like to see. By no means am I an unpasteurised, unfiltered maniac. I'll happily drink a pasteurised or filtered beer, but I think it always just adds a bit more character and a little bit more sort of craftness to a beer to have that. So without further ado, let's give it a try. Let's get stuck in. Still very fruity, sweet on the nose. Wow. That's really hoppy, really like really piney, really quite bitter actually, but nice. Quite different to on the nose though. On the nose I was just expecting really sweet, and kind of got the opposite. But that's quite nice. That kind of took me by surprise a little bit. As always, we'll give it a few more sips. Talk about the colour a little bit more. It's another one that's more yellowy, obviously in my hand. For you guys, I can see in the camera that it looks way more orange than it is. It is orange, but just not nearly as much as it looks like on the camera for you guys. So sorry about that. I do slightly colour edit these videos just to bring up the saturation a little bit, so hopefully that will do it justice. But something tells me it'll still look quite orangey on screen. Like I said, we'll give it a few more sips. bitter. Nice, but kind of keeps itself on the tongue, the bitterness. I realise I haven't mentioned the hops actually. They're not, I'm sorry, they are hops I've had before. Oh, this is vegan friendly. You guys know I'm a sucker for a vegan friendly beer. Hops we're looking at Enigma, Mosaic, BBC. So Mosaic I have quite a lot. That's quite a common one for craft beers, especially more modern day craft beers, definitely, especially IPAs and that kind of thing. Like I say, it's not a double, it's not a triple, it's not a New England or anything like that. This is just a sort of standard IPA. It did say on Untapped, it's an American IPA. I think there are subtle differences between American and UK IPAs or England IPAs. I know English IPAs tend to have a little bit more of a traditional feel to it. They seem a little bit more sometimes more like an ale, but like a standard ale that you'd get in the UK that aren't always served cold. It's kind of less lagery and more malty ales that tend to be English IPAs. At least from my experience, I have no sort of beer tasting training or anything, but that's kind of what I found in my experience. So, yeah, really the flavours I'm getting are mainly quite sort of sharp, hoppy, and piney flavours. Quite dank, really. I'm not getting a huge amount of kind of sweetness, which, like I say, did surprise me because even now it really smells really, really sweet. It's almost can almost smell like sweet lactose that you get with more like stouts, which is quite interesting. Obviously, I don't think this has got any it can't have any lactose in it because it's vegan friendly, which is quite interesting. But at the same time, it's quite thick and creamy, so it's kind of got that kind of idea there too. So just moving around my tongue a little bit more. The bitterness does kind of calm down a little bit, I think, with a few sips. It's not like floral really. I'm trying to think of more sort of words to give you guys. I realise I kind of fall back on quite a lot of what's the word? Just words to describe the beers. And I'm thinking, you know, is it fruity? Is there citrus coming through? For me, not really a huge amount. That's why I'm not saying it. Really, it's almost like sugary to smell. If you guys understand what I mean by that. Obviously probably just part of the fermentation process, but yeah, main flavours are kind of hoppy bitterness. So if you prefer more bitter IPAs, 100% recommend this one. I mean, it's a nice one anyway. It's a nice standard IPA. If you want that kind of classic IPA flavour that everyone knows, I definitely go for this. But at the same time, it's not really giving me something too different. It's kind of falling back on the usual flavours that we expect from an IPA. So for that reason, I think I'm going to give it, always fall back around the sort of late threes kind of mark. But I feel like because I should perhaps be a little bit more critical because it's not too kind of groundbreaking. So I'm going to give this one a 3.5. It's really enjoyable still, a really nice IPA. But like I say, there's not a huge amount of depth. It really can just, all I can taste is really just hops. Nothing bad about that. Really nice classic IPA flavour, but at the same time, I don't always say I was expecting more, but expecting something perhaps just with a little bit more sort of depth and a few more flavours as you sort of go through drinking the beer. If you go from the smell to sip, expecting a bit more of a variety of flavours and smells. So. Really nice beer. If you guys have tried this before already, like I say, it is a nano brewery, so you probably haven't. But if you have and you're here for that reason, let me know what you guys thought of it, what you give it out of 5 or 10. As always, if you guys know of any sort of nationwide UK beers that are easy to get your hands on, hit me up in the comment section as well. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, this quick review, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.